Lauren Branning is on the path to self-destruction as she lays waste to relationships off the back of her deepening alcoholism. Tanya begs her not to throw away her future, while Lauren turns to Dot for cash, then gatecrashes Kim's birthday and drunkenly demolishes the cake. Tanya's desperate for help, but decides not to turn to Max as he prepares for Kirsty's scan, so she makes Lauren work in the laundrette. But she steals from Cora, prompting her to suggest she's a trainee Rainey. Joey's worried when he sees her in a state in the pub, while Lucy enjoys winding her up and gets punched for her sins, leading to Lauren's arrest. Kirsty's terrified about the scan, so she cancels, then lies it was the clinic. But Max confronts the receptionist, so Kirsty fakes a panic attack to hide the truth. Max reveals he knows she cancelled it, and just as she's about to reveal all, he apologises for pushing her into it. Her guilt is driving her into a complete state. Phil invites Sharon to dinner to make it clear they're over mixed messages and tells her to leave when she tries to kiss him. But we then see a different side to him when Lola asks him to look after Lexi. He pretends to be miffed, but is quietly thrilled. The Rovers' reopening was never going to be a smooth affair, and Katie clashes with Owen and chairs over Ryan, while Carl watches Dev guiltily. Katie makes a pointed remark to Izzy about Gary's past, and Tina's forced to reveal all, but suddenly she collapses in pain. The baby's 2 months early. Gary blames Katie while Izzy blames Gary, but meanwhile Tina wants the Windasses out and Tommy by her side. It's high drama as Tina gives birth to a boy, but he's rushed to the special care unit. Izzy refuses to let Gary see his son, but Tina implores her to talk to him, desperate for them to stay together. But Izzy's in no mood to forgive. Tommy is getting alarmed at Tina's reaction to the baby. She's getting attached and he wants her to take a step back. But later he tells a stunned Tina that he loves her and never stopped loving her. As Stella reopens the pub with Carl, Dev is struggling with his emotions. Carl goes after him but panics when Dev asks him if he has a guilty conscience. Later, Stella asks Dev to dinner. He's buoyed by the twins' insistence that Sunita is not a murderer and says he's going to push police for answers. And Rob wants Tracy to flog the silk, but Michelle and Carla are getting wise to his scheme, and by the week's end, Carla catches him with the stolen goods. Finally, we're in the Dales. Val encourages Amy to go for it with Andy before Kerry gets back, and when she does return, she walks in to find Andy and Amy snogging. Kerry announces she's pregnant, but Amy thinks she's lying, so Andy asks her to take a pregnancy test. And guess what? It's positive. After Debbie tells him he can't be a father to Sarah and Jack and Kerry's baby, he asks her to have a termination, but is shocked by Amy's reaction. Adam is not happy when Moira asks Kane to move in, distrusting his motives, so he tries to stitch up Kane with a farm supplier, Natalie. Kane turns her down and is furious to learn the truth. He sorts out Adam, but Adam makes a drastic decision when his mum returns. Rona's woes continue when she panics she won't have enough pills for a holiday, and she's in a bad way when Vanessa has to take over stitching up Val's dog.